Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Sold Sign Real Estate Unplugged. We are your hosts and favorite realtors, Naya
and Lauren,
and we are glad that you're joining us again for another episode. Let's get into this week's story.
When I first met a seller who had just listed their home, they were brimming with excitement. They were convinced the house would sell within days because the market was hot and their home was stunning. After all, they had invested in new appliances, fresh paint, and a well-manicured lawn. But after 1 week on the market, there were no offers. I got a call and they were frustrated. Why hasn't it sold yet? What's wrong with the house? They asked. I assured them that a week is not unusual, especially in a slightly slower market or for higher priced homes. The real issue wasn't the home itself, it was their expectations. We reviewed the feedback from showings. Most buyers loved the property but felt the price was too high for the neighborhood. It was a tough conversation to have because the sellers were emotionally attached to their home and believed it was worth more than the market was indicating. I explained that pricing isn't just about the home's features, it's about competition and what buyers are willing to pay. To ease their concerns, I suggested three strategies. Adjust the price slightly to align with the market, enhance the online listing with updated photos and a virtual tour, and host an open house to generate buzz. They agreed to all three. By the second week, the open house brought in a lot of foot traffic, and we received 2 offers. While they weren't at the original asking price, the sellers realized that the price adjustment had brought in serious buyers. After negotiating, they accepted an offer that they were happy with. This experience taught that managing expectations is just as important as marketing the property. Selling a home is both an emotional and strategic process, and it's crucial for sellers to stay patient and trust the process.
Yes.
Probably one of my favorite stories because I feel like we could get this from a seller. Like I can totally see a seller reaching out and saying what is happening.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Sorry,
Well,
I'm not trying to be like conceited. Not us, because I do feel like we are so transparent with all of our clients. We are very transparent upfront, and we tell you, "Hey, listen, if we're not seeing any, we'll go with you. We'll provide you with a comparative market analysis, which is a CMA. A CMA will pretty much tell a seller this is what's been selling in your neighborhood based on the homes that kind of look like yours. This is the price that we recommend." If you as the seller are saying, no, I think our house is worth more, and we decide, okay, we're going to listen to you and we will price your home a little higher than what we are expecting, please understand that we're going to tell you up front, if this house does not sell in 7 days, we're dropping the price immediately to what we felt as though the price should be. So that conversation, the seller would already know in their head, okay, if it's 7 days. So there's no reason to call us frustrated because you already know. We told you, we gave you the facts and the information. It wasn't just a number that we came out of nowhere with. We provided the numbers based on the market and what's been selling in your neighborhood. And we say, hey, listen, here are all of the facts right here in front of you. Here's the information. This is what we feel the house should be listed at. Not necessarily what it's going to sell for, but what it should be listed at to get as many people in the home as possible. And some sellers feel, because we think about it strategically, some sellers feel, let's price it high, or I feel like I've done all this work to my house, we should price it here, and then we'll start to drop it. Where dropping it doesn't look good. It just doesn't. Where we think opposite. We think not coming in low, we're thinking coming in strategically, pretty much right in the middle where all the other homes have been like listed or have sold. We don't really look at like active. We look at what has sold. So whatever has sold, if we got a 450, a 500,000, a 475, we may come in at like 475, maybe 485. And we may say, okay, let's go ahead and price it here and let's get as many people in here as possible. Let's create this buzz, and that way the buyers will start to generate like more offers and the competition, because that's what we want. Because if the house starts dropping, that people are going to be like, what's wrong with it?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's sitting in the market for more than 7 days. And it's like, in a hot market, it's usually not the case. Not here in the DMV. It's usually a good weekend. But sometimes a house is priced too high. That's usually like the main thing. If it looks
price.
good, yeah.
If it looks good, it's price. Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
feel
either
like
it's price or probably condition.
right. Yeah. And if the condition's fine, if you did everything you said you did, you painted, well manicured lawn and you got new appliances, so everything in the house pretty much looks very well and it presents well, then the part that threw me off with the story was the updated photos. That threw me all the way in the virtual tour.
I made a face. If y'all scroll back, y'all probably see it. I said,
Cause what? What do you mean?
I was like,
photos?
that's a new one. What is updated? Isn't it a photo of the same room? Same house? Yeah. They retaking the same ones?
Right. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
it's the same house. So what is going to be updated about the photo? A new filter?
A new angle?
Maybe a new angle.
I don't know.
Filter.
Or did you not get photos at all? Are you using photos?
Okay, updated photos.
Are you using photos from your phone? What do you mean by updated photos in virtual tour?
Because that should have been from the beginning. Your photos, your new photos, and the virtual tour should have been on there.
Yeah.
On day one when it was active for people to view.
That comes hand in hand. So because that photos are the first showing. Virtual tour, maybe first second showing.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, okay. And then they decide once they see the photos, the virtual tour, maybe even the floor plan. Okay, now we're going to go out and we're going to schedule a showing. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. The updated photos, that threw me off. So don't make
your photos need to be on point from the beginning. Yes. That is the very first impression.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Yeah, I said.
Yeah, that threw me off when I read that. When they sent that in, I was like, I don't understand that. But okay, whatever. We don't pick apart stories. We listen, we don't judge. So for sellers, timing the market as well is huge when it comes to, if you're like, my house needs to be sold in 7 days, right? Timing the market is, very important. Me and I were just talking about this. Mm-hmm. You had a seller and, September looked one way and then October
it got cold. It got cold in October real quick.
Completely different. It's like, what happened? It's like,
man, that was a shift.
Yeah, life can happen. Shifts can happen. Yeah. You trying to sell over the holidays. People aren't in town. You're trying to put a house on the market, like you said in another episode. Selling over Memorial Weekend, 4th of July, Christmas, Thanksgiving. Like people are traveling. They're out of town. They are so concerned and worried about Christmas gifts and money for that they're not thinking, shoot, do I buy a house before the new year? I feel like that stops. But if you don't have it, by maybe November, then they're like, okay, we're going to wait until
I was about to say, a lot of people just shut it off as like, they stop the search until let's start fresh again in January. Yeah. Let's circle back in the new year.
Yeah, right.
And that for sellers, that doesn't mean, that you got to do what you got to do. If you need to sell now and you need to put it on the market to move, that might just be what we have to do. And we just have to adjust and work with that. Because there still are buyers who take advantage of those slower seasons and look ahead and get under contract and get the home they want because not a lot of other people are looking. So there's pros and cons to it, but there is, generally a shift with the seasons and the quarters through the year. So that timing is a big thing. The holidays, whether it's a summer holiday or the end of the year holidays, be mindful of the weekend, the day of the week that you go on the market, what the following weekend is. All those things could just have an impact on when eyes are looking at your property and you just want to always maximize. We want to maximize the eyes. Maximize the eyes. So, we want to make sure.
That.
Right. I don't know where that came from, but maximize the eyes on your property. That's what we want to do. So all those things we have to think about the timing.
Yeah. I love that. And be open to feedback, sellers. Like if you know, and not necessarily from your realtor, because you may not feel like they're telling you whatever, but the people who actually came in to see your house, right? Like they are most likely going to provide some type of feedback, whether it's through their realtor, and then they will let us know, and then we will then relay it back to you. Just be open to it. So if you get 4 people telling you the same thing, like, the price is too high for the neighborhood, or the condition wasn't the best. Like, listen to that, and that may help you sell it a little quicker. Because if you keep getting the same feedback, that may then open your eyes to be like, okay, maybe we should drop it to where, the realtor said, or drop it down a little bit more, or change the carpet out, because that's the first thing someone sees when they walk in, and it's an eyesore. Like, just little things make a huge difference, but you don't want it to be too late, because the people who really like your house and want to see it, like, their first ones in, right? They're in that first weekend. So you get them in the first weekend, and then they have not the best things to say about it. And now you got to hope that you can get them back in after you drop the price, after you change out the carpet, because they may not want to come back. Actually, they may have already found another house. So now you lost all those people, those 4 people who were very serious about your house. You have now lost them. Now you got to go and be on the market a little longer to get some additional buyers out there. But if you do it right the first time, that makes a huge difference. Just do it right the first time. Don't test it. Why are you testing it? You know you don't want to be on the market for more than 7 days. Why are you testing your luck? You might as well just go ahead, get it right the first time, do everything right out the bat, and then you're done. You're good to go, and you can move on with, with your life and with the house. But it's one thing about losing.
Bunch of gems. You said, don't wait too late. You said it's going to be too late.
Right.
Why are you playing around? You don't want your house to be on the market.
If you're going to call me in 7 days and a week frustrated.
Yeah. About something that especially if it's something that we suggested or recommended. Yeah. And then we have to end up doing it anyway. Yeah. You're so right. We missed out on a scoop of people who are not going to circle back. Okay.
And like, as a seller, like, you're our client. We only want the best for you. We want you to get the most money as possible. So my question is, why would you feel that we would tell you something that would not benefit you? We are not working with the buyers. We are only working and only have the best interest for you. And we want to get you the most money as possible. So we are telling you these things because we are out here in the market every single day, and we see what buyers want to see. We also work with buyers, so we understand what they're saying. We also are getting feedback from the other realtors. We see what's going on in other neighborhoods and your neighborhood. So we're just telling you things that we see, and we're not trying to diminish or anything that you've done with your house. We just want to let you know that maybe the things that you did to your house are not going to add the value that you hoped for. And that's, that it's not for you to, it's not to blame you. It's just that maybe you just didn't know that, if I, I don't know, do this instead of this, it will bring more money to me, but it didn't. Instead of you doing your kitchen and your bathroom, you decided to, I don't know, paint your bedroom. I don't know, but whatever it is, it may not bring as much return as you were expecting. So when a realtor who's in the market comes to your house and says, hey, this is what I think it would sell for, you may not be as happy, but we're telling you this so that we can get your house sold within 7 days and that you're not as frustrated.
Yes.
So that's like and we will communicate very clearly with, like, that is like our thing, like our motto, but we are really good at communicating, and we are very good at being transparent in a nice way and just providing you with all the facts that we have, and we will give you all the information up front. We won't give it to you 7 days after, like, it's not, now your house been on the market 7 days. Now we're going to have a conversation. We've had this conversation with you already. So now it's 7 days. I'm immediately dropping it. I'm going to just remind you, hey, remember our conversation? Okay, great. I'm about to drop the price. And most likely you're going to be like, okay.
Yeah.
Because we've had this conversation up front. So, and the house hadn't moved. And you also got the feedback from other people about what the issue was, which probably was the issue we talked about.
Yeah.
I hate to say it like that, but yeah, it probably was. So
yes, I'm glad that, in this story, they were able to recreate buzz and kind of, first they were able to review feedback and switch it around for the game plan and end up being able to, get an offer. But just know that 7 days is ideal. We want to present the home strongly and do all those things from the beginning. Seasons change, the calendar, the date, the timeline, all that is going to play a part. So we want to be sure that we work with you to manage expectations, what could happen, all of those things, make sure you're informed, and then be quick on making decisions about next steps and all of that. So, yeah.
No, I agree. And for those, again, we did an episode about open houses, and it was real quick.
They should have had an open house from the beginning.
Right. And they said by the second week, the open house brought in a lot of traffic and received 2 offers. So for those who don't like doing open houses, get another agent to do it, but still do it. At least do one. You never know who's going to come through your open house and who's going to present you with an offer. And we just had a whole episode on this, so go watch it. But that open house just did exactly what I was expecting it to do. So yeah,
bring traffic. Okay, well, thank you for joining us for another episode. Remember that you can watch us on YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram, on TikTok, subscribe to YouTube as well. And you can listen to us on any podcast platform. Thank you so much for all of your support, your comments, your likes, and your shares. And we'll see you next week.